eBay Motors is here for the ride. Remember when you first saw the potential? And then, through some elbow grease, fresh installs, and a whole lot of love, you transformed 100,000 miles and a body full of rust into a drive that's all your own. There's nothing else that sounds like, feels like, or looks like the set of wheels in your garage. And with over 122 million parts, you can make sure your number one ride or die stays running smoothly, so there's no limit to how far you can take it. Brake kits, turbochargers, engines, exhaust kits, roof racks, LED lights, bumpers, whatever your baby needs, eBay Motors has it. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, it's guaranteed to fit your ride the first time, every time, or your money back. Plus, at these prices, well, you're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Hey, it's Rick Lewis here. If you suffered from hail damage or wind damage recently in Aurora, Centennial, Parker, Denver, Thornton, Commerce City, you need to get a hold of my guys at Advanced Exteriors. These guys are locally owned and operated. They can help you out. I stand by these guys. They do a great job. They've been around for a long time. Go to advancedexteriors.com or call them 303-756-7663.
You're listening to the Dollop.
Dave.
That's me in a faraway place yelling it.
It's you introing from a canyon.
Yeah.
While I'm up on land.
This is a bi-weekly podcast. Each week, I read a story to my friend
Gareth Reynolds, who has no idea what the topic is going to be about.
I didn't say it was from American history. It is.
That's fun.
It's from American history.
That's new, right? That's a new wrinkle.
Nope.
It's always been American?
Always been that way.
That's funny. Hadn't noticed.
Thank you.
Thanks.
God, you want to hit a dude?
I'll do one bottle.
People say this is funny.
Not Gary Gareth.
Dave, okay.
Someone or something is tickling people.
Is it for fun?
And this is not going to become the tickling podcast.
Okay.
You are Queen Fakey of Made Up Town.
All hail Queen Shit of Liesville.
A bunch of religious virgins go to mingle
And do what?
pray.
Hi, Gary.
No.
Nicely done, my friend.
No.
1933.
Oh boy, Dave.
From the,
we got to rein you. I think you got a little too fired up in the beginning. Now you're.
I'm tired. I lost last night.
Oh, buddy.
I lost the Writers Guild Award.
But didn't you win in a lot of ways?
No.
Did you get a free little tote bag?
I did. It was full. Do you want to know what was in the tote bag?
Yeah.
A classical CD. Right?
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Right. Like it's 1987, and people are like, "Hey, have you seen CDs?" And then I got a.
If you had a CD in '87, people would be like, "Future Boy."
Were they not out yet?
No, they were '92.
Okay. And then I got. Really? No. I
Yeah.
think they were before that. All right,
I
well,
don't
now we
know.
gotta-
My
now
first,
we have
my first ones were Nevermind and the Black Album, and I think I was buying CDs early
Okay. Well, I think we got a.
or middle of the road time.
It's clearly a controversy.
Let's do a Dollop
And now
about it.
90 people are going to send me the answer on Twitter. By the time you send me the answer, I've already looked it up.
And you will be blocked.
Yeah. Some guy was like, I don't know why I got blocked. I just called you a dick. Okay.
Doesn't take much.
No, just don't be mean. So what were we talking about?
We were talking about CDs, the invention of CDs. You were
Right.
talking about your tote bag.
I got a copy of Variety magazine.
Oh, well, those aren't. You can't get that anywhere.
Of Hollywood magazine.
Again, another one
And
that you
a
can't find at
copy
7-Eleven.
of Written By magazine,
Oh, good.
which is like everyone
So the
in that
magazines you
room-
get in the mail that you're like,
Yeah,
poor
everyone in that
trees.
room gets that magazine, throws it away, and then they gave it to me twice. So
gotta be really-
that's the bag of merch.
It's really a bag to light fires with, if you think
It was a
about
bag. It was a bag that said "fuck you."
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself.
Oh, Dave.
Alex J. Hart ran a successful department store in San Jose, California. The store did very well, and it has since it had opened in 1860.
So this is 70 years of good business?
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
That's all this is going to be about. This is a good business story.
Sure. No, I haven't listened.
It was a large two-story building, and the housewives came from all over the area to shop at Hart's department store.
Hart's department store.
Hart's, H-A-R-T-S. The Harts were a nice American success story at the time. They were Jewish immigrants who had come to the U.S. with nothing and built a great life. They were well thought of in the town of San Jose. Alex was a family man. He seemed to be living the perfect life. His son, Brooke, was in line to take over the business someday, but now at 22, he's just learning the ropes.
Okay.
He had been groomed for the job since he was born. He was a stock boy in elementary school, then a cashier, a bookkeeper, and a sales clerk. In October 1933, he was given a promotion at the store.
Whoa, that it's extra special.
Quote, "It was the high moment in my life when I took Brooke into the department store as vice president," said Alex.
All those people who worked hard under him, too, very gratified by that moment for the boy.
He's like, "But everybody listen up, this is my boy.
Billy Madison, meet my son, Billy Madison.
He, at 22, is your boss."
All right.
How happy are you guys, you 40-year-old guys?
Yeah.
You guys feeling good?
And remember, I need you guys to show him how to do your jobs.
Bobby, go clean the toilet. I'm 50. Please.
Clean the toilet, Bobby.
Please, that's not Brooke's job anymore. And it was a big job. The store employed over 200 people.
Okay.
It's a shitload of people for a fucking store.
Sure.
Brooke spent the summer of 1933 riding around town in his brand new Studebaker Roadster, then impressed many of the young kids in the area. His family owned a large mansion high up on a hill over the town, surrounded by gardens and lawns and a big iron gate. So they had money and they were showing it. They're like, yeah, we're living the good life.
Well, whatever, right? That's the society we live in.
That's what I'm talking about.
Winners get the mountaintop.
John, quote, Jack Holmes. So his name is John Holmes, but his nickname was Jack.
Probably because he didn't want to share it with a porn star.
Well, there's no porn star in 1933.
Come on, you don't know what John Holmes' grandpa was doing.
He's thinking that in the future there's going to be porn. And
Someday I could picture man and woman fucking on camera.
I'm going to change my name. He was born on March 20th, 1904 in Los Angeles. He moved to San Jose around 11 years old. There, his father opened a tailor shop. His father was, like Alex, a hard worker and soon became a well-known member of the business community.
Okay.
In the early 1930s, San Jose was pretty much a small town where everyone knew everyone else. All right. Unlike now. Where they keep the money.
Yeah.
Jack went to San Jose High School and became a football star.
Okay.
He was over 6 feet tall and could handle himself in a scrap. But one day he got into an argument with a teacher and was kicked out of school.
Oh.
This is when you got kicked out of school for arguing with a teacher.
Yeah, now you can shoot him.
Yeah.
You're encouraged to shoot him.
You're allowed to shoot teachers.
Yeah, you are.
There's a big sign out front that says, "Please shoot teachers."
Welcome to You May Shoot Teachers, ha!
So Jack got a job in the local electronics store and got on with his life. When he was 20, he got married. He was a very well-liked guy and was quick to make friends. By 1928, he and his wife had 2 kids and moved to a small nearby town called Half Moon Bay. It's a little tiny sort of village on the coast.
It's gorgeous there.
It is nice there. You've never been there?
No.
He got a job at a local gas station. So he's fucking rolling. I mean, clearly this guy
things are good.
This guy
he worked at a Radio Shack, now he's pumping gas.
He made
things
the right
are fine.
decision.
Yeah.
He made the right decision.
Yeah.
So the gas station was where a criminal element was known to hang out. And soon Jack had become friends with some local tough guys.
Now I'll say, as the listener and as the observer of this tale, this is where I feel like we're about to shift gears a touch.
That'll be fine.
Okay.
Jack became intrigued.
It's just that he's hanging out with a bad crowd. We're talking about it. I feel like...
Well...
Okay.
You don't know what this could be. This could be the hero.
Feels like we've done this a lot. Feels like we've had this conversation a number of times, and you've always assured me that it might be different this time, and it never is.
Well, this guy could be a hero. This could be a story about a couple of guys who build a boat and go to Tahiti. Mm-hmm. Jack became intrigued by the lives the criminals lived.
That's not a good follow-up for your point.
He saw their lifestyle as exciting and started dreaming about committing the perfect crime.
Oh, God.
Now, this was a time when kidnapping was the flavor of the week.
What?
They kept happening.
This fall, everybody's kidnapping.
They kept happening, and they were often publicized. The Great Depression had changed the country dramatically. With hard times came desperation. Unable to provide for their families, some turned to the crime of kidnapping. This was an era of anger against the wealthy and an era of lawlessness.
Boy, that really just makes me feel like we're 8 years away from a lot of kidnapping.
It feels like we're 3.
3. I mean, I was being... When I said 8, that was just so that I can maximize my time to get my shit together, while other people think it's 8. But I know it's 3.
It's far from 8.
I'll be gone in 2.
Marion Parker...
I'll kidnap someone in 2, honestly.
I'll kidnap you.
Fuck off.
Marion Parker, the daughter of a Los Angeles baker, was kidnapped and killed. Mary Agnes Maroney was taken from her home in Chicago and never seen again.
Sorry, these are murders.
McElroy was kidnapped in Kansas City and released after the ransom was paid.
Oh, okay.
Most famously, the Lindbergh baby had recently been kidnapped, and obviously that ended in horror. Jack spent hours reading newspapers and analyzing crimes, trying to figure out how the criminals had slipped up and gotten themselves arrested.
Jack, what are you doing in there, hon? You've been in there a long time.
I'm reading about the Lindbergh baby, trying to figure out how they could have gotten away with it.
Again?
I want to figure out how the Lindbergh baby kidnappers got away with it, and then they not killed the baby, and then they gotten all the money. No, they could kill the baby, but I'm just trying to figure out how they could have gotten the money.
I'll go ahead and there's food. Your dinner's outside.
I'll go ahead and shut the door. Look me in the eyes.
Absolutely not. Nope, the dinner. I'm shutting the door.
Look me in the eyes.
Dinner is right out here.
Look me in the goddamn eyes.
Goodbye, Jack.
Mommy.
Sorry, did you say mommy at the? I'm gonna go. I'm
Sorry,
gone.
honey. I apologize.
I'm out.
Jack spent hours reading newspapers and analyzing crimes, trying to figure out how they slipped up. In 1932, Jack got a job as a salesman for an oil company.
Okay.
So life is clearly turning around.
Oh, boy. How long until he's working at a Spencer's Gifts?
Thomas Harold Thurmond was born on a farm in 1906. When he was 11, his family also moved to San Jose. And like Jack, Thomas didn't finish high school. Though he wasn't kicked out, Thomas just dropped out. He worked at jobs that didn't pay much around the town. His family was well known in San Jose. He had 5 sisters, and they were all either married or working at a good job in the town. Thomas was the black sheep of the family, the only one not doing well.
Feels like these 2 guys might link up.
Maybe all 3 of these guys will link up.
Oh, that would be unbelievable.
The family looked at Thomas with disappointment. Thomas also started to get to know and hang out with the criminal crowd of San Jose.
Cool!
In 1932, on one of his sales trips, Jack went to a gas station in San Jose where he met Thomas, and the 2 very quickly became friends. They had a common interest. They both wanted to make money fast.
How do you just run into someone and realize, how do you so quickly realize, you're both into the criminal element?
The guy's like, what are you into? The guy's like, money, fast money, getting it quick and easy, that kind of thing, kidnappings, I don't know.
You should not reveal so much, dude, but I like what I'm hearing.
Okay, let's hang out.
Yeah, for sure.
In 1932, I did that. They hatched a plan to kidnap a Union Oil Company courier. Holmes.
So they're going to steal a courier?
It's a courier's a guy who's, bringing stuff.
But is that really where to hit him where it hurts?
You said steal a courier. A courier is a person, so they're going to kidnap him.
Well, yeah, regardless.
You don't steal a person.
Regardless, what leverage do you have when you're like,
stole Lou.
Hey, I took your message boy.
Well, the message boy might have some money on him.
All right, I'll see where this goes.
Okay. Holmes had the inside info because of his job. And knowing his penchant for studying crimes, probably thought this would be a no-brainer.
Sure.
Right? On September 25th, 1933, they kidnapped and robbed one of the Union Oil couriers. They did not hurt him and released him after getting the cash, which ended up being $716.
Okay. So
that's a lot of money for 1933. I don't know about it. Really, it's a good amount. I don't know. It's a lot of...
Because it doesn't sound like much to me.
It's probably a lot of fucking money.
Sounds like nothing.
Okay.
Rent.
I feel like you're stupid.
1 month.
This was the Depression, so that actually was a shitload of money. Being so successful on their first attempt, they decided to have another go. Why stop if it was so easy?
It is just like gambling, though. It's like you sit down at the table, you get a little hot, you're like, yeah, fuck it. I know I said I'd go, but come on, I can have a little fun while I'm here. I did that once,
I could do it again. Come on. Okay, so here they go. On October 23rd, they kidnapped and robbed another courier, this time the one who worked for Shell Oil.
Okay.
Again, they made $700.
It'd be great if that guy just carried shells.
Yeah.
Hey, I didn't know no better.
All I got are the shells.
Like seashells?
Yeah. That's how we pay for oil.
This guy's an idiot.
Hey,
I don't think he'd have a job.
can I get my shells?
Do you actually work for Shell Oil?
No. Do you know anyone who works there?
No. We're going to go.
My dream's to work there.
Go ahead and kill him.
I'll give him all the shells. Kill me if he has to do it.
But this guy they also released without hurting him. So having gotten away with 2 kidnappings and made a decent amount of money, Jack decided it was time to up the ante.
Not good.
What?
Yeah, what?
On the evening of November 9th, 1933, Alex Hart was supposed to go to a dinner with members of the Chamber of Commerce at a local country club.
Oh, boy.
After he closed down the department store. The dinner was supposed to start at 6 p.m.
Sure.
He had arranged for Brooke to pick him up in his new speedster and drive him over. Brooke left the store at 5:55 p.m. to get his car from a nearby garage and was supposed to come right back and pick up his dad. Off Brooke walked toward Market Street.
Oh, poor Brooke.
30 minutes later, Alex was still waiting. He started to get nervous, as this was not at all in Brooke's character. If the car had a problem, it was just 5 minutes away, so Brooke could have easily walked back.
Oh, boy.
On top of that, Brooke had his own appointment at 6:30, which he was now clearly going to be late for. Alex thought about it and concluded that Brooke had something he needed to do and forgot to pick his dad up.
It's a nice rationalization. That's how you talk yourself out of reality.
Oh, I know that I just said, hey, Brooke, can you leave now to go pick me up? And then he walked like 4 blocks away to get the car. But he must have forgotten.
Yeah.
In that time period.
Brooke's an idiot.
Hey, come on down to Hot Stupid Department Store. We're selling dumbs.
Yeah, you can take stuff if you say you paid for it to this idiot.
I don't know what's happening.
Hearts.
So that's what he thinks.
But when you are in that situation, right, when you if that happens, you do eventually go I'd be crazy to think that this person was kidnapped.
Right, you wouldn't go to kidnap.
Or stolen, as some people like to say.
But you might call the police and just go, hey, keep an eye out for Brooke.
Yeah, maybe.
Anyway, so Alex got another ride. Someone else from the store drove him to dinner. When he got home later that evening, he learned that Brooke had never come home, and he called the police.
Here we go.
Then at 9:45, the phone rang. Brooke's little sister answered. A voice told her that Brooke had been kidnapped, and they would call back with instructions.
Okay.
If the police were told, Brooke would be killed. Pretty standard kidnapping.
Yeah.
Pretty hacky at this point.
Well, yeah. But this is before it was... I mean, this is when it was just starting to trend.
Right.
Right now, these are hacky things, but they might have... They started it, kind of.
Right.
You know?
They called back about an hour later and said they wanted $40,000 for his safe return.
Ooh. Take that, couriers.
They said they would call back the next day with instructions of how and where to take the money to drop it.
It's so strange to think of a kidnapping in a time where you could just keep calling the house phone.
Yeah.
And hanging up and be fine.
Yeah. Also...
No, keep him on the line for 60 seconds bullshit.
Also, why didn't you just come up with a plan...
Yeah, it seems like you
should
could
come up with the... I just want to put this out there.
Compartmentalize.
If you're going to kidnap somebody...
Right.
Just all of our listeners, if you're going to kidnap somebody...
Well...
have a plan for how you're going to deal with the money and the drop-on stuff. Don't start thinking it up after, and then don't do it incrementally. Don't call up and go, hey, we're going to call back in a few minutes with some more info, and then call them back and go, hey, we want $40,000. You know what? We're going to call you back to tell you where to put it.
That really is, it just screams rookies, because it is rookies. Like, they're probably he's probably going to say no to some of this shit, and he keeps saying yeah. They're like, okay, we'll call you back tomorrow with more stuff. Holy shit, this is going great.
This is awesome.
This guy's an idiot.
Yeah. Although this is also the guy who studied the fucking crime things to figure out how the best way to do it.
Yeah, true.
He's supposed to have a master plan. He's supposed to be a master plan guy.
Yeah. Might have skipped that part.
They didn't call the next day with instructions. So Alex called the police. The police chief alerted nearby cities of the kidnapping and told them to look for Brooks Studebaker. The FBI came in and installed phone recording equipment. An agent was stationed in the home. A man near the town of Milpitas, which is about 7 miles away, called police to say his wife had seen an abandoned Studebaker with its lights on. The Milpitas police went out. That car was Brooks.
Okay. I'm starting to think they might have kidnapped him.
Yep. The next day, Brooke's wallet was found on the railing of a... Wow, this says shit. But there's no way it was on the railing of a shit.
It actually says shit?
Yeah, it's got to be ship.
On the railing of a shit.
We're putting railings on shits now.
Welcome to Shit Mansion.
Just to keep people safe.
There's the shit ladder. There's the shit banister. Take the shit elevator if you want.
So they found his wallet on the railing of a ship that had just arrived in San Francisco and was getting ready to head back to Mexico. Classic Brooke prank. That's what this is, right?
Wait, so they found his wallet on a ship coming to San Francisco.
Refueling and heading back down to Mexico.
That's very curious for this kidnapping.
Maybe it's a classic Brooke loves pranks.
Nah, does he?
Listen.
It's the first I've heard of it.
Disappear and put his wallet on a shit.
Because then they have to pick it up and smell it. Brooke.
People thought he was being held prisoner on the ship.
Okay.
Police flew in a plane. So the ship's already left. So police flew in a plane to Los Angeles to meet the ship and search it.
What police flew?
The police from San Jose.
Jesus.
Hopped on a plane and flew down to L.A. to meet the ship.
Okay.
Right? Because you can't. It's that time. What are you going to do? Chase a ship in your little speedboat? Come on.
I don't know.
Work with me.
Okay.
I need you to work with me.
I'm trying.
Brooke was not on the ship. You know who was on the ship?
Who?
Babe Ruth.
What? Why?
I don't know.
What? He was just on the ship?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
He was on the ship, and like everyone else, he was made to get off and wait while they searched it from stern.
This is bullshit, see?
Stern to the other part.
I'm sure he found a way to drink.
Yeah. 2 days passed, and there was no word from the kidnappers. So the Harts decided to tell the local newspaper about the kidnapping.
But what? It's so foolish if you're a kidnapper and you set up that precedent that you don't want the cops called, then you go quiet, then you ghost them for 2 days.
Right. Look,
foolish.
It is foolish. I agree.
I have notes on this kidnapping.
Well, we're going to have a big session afterwards where everyone's going to sit down and talk about what the best way they think this could have gone.
I'll bring popcorn.
Okay. So he calls the local newspapers. 4 days after Brooke was taken, the Harts got a card in the mail at the store that was postmarked
Happy birthday
in Sacramento.
Uh-oh.
It did not say happy birthday.
Uh-oh.
It read, "One more peep to the police will be his finish. You have made one squawk, another will be too bad. We will have 40,000. Put it in a satchel. Be ready to make a week's trip on an hour notice. Get the Studebaker Roadster to have a radio installed."
Very demanding. Even for kidnapping.
Fix up the car!
Be ready to leave for a week at an hour's notice. A week?
A week.
That's a red flag.
It's not a good thing.
It's like you're like, you're going to kill me too, asshole.
Super complicated.
Yeah.
You're taking it. Guess what, Pops? You want an all-inclusive trip.
Wait a minute.
You're going to Puerto Vallarta.
That's right. For 5 days and 4 nights, you and the lovely wife will be going down to Mexico, where your son, Brooke, might be killed.
Or might be alive.
Who knows? Bring the 40,000 in a satchel. Not valid in way.
Now, the reason they wanted the radio installed in the car, because the kidnappers planned to have the instruction broadcast over radio station KPO.
Which has to have a headquarters.
I mean,
come on.
It's super complicated.
What?
Get in your car, start driving. Drive to where the signal towers reach your car for the KPO radio station. We're going to go inside the radio station. We're going to knock out the DJ. Then we're going to tell you where to go. There's no better way to get you this information.
Don't tell the cops where we're going to be. Or yourselves.
Because the thing is, we don't just want you to hear. We want everybody to hear in the areas.
It'd be great if when they're there getting ready to do the announcement, they just kind of get caught up in being DJs. It's just kind of fun to play some records. Oh, my God, look at this.
We're going to play some Cab Calloway.
Hey,
we'll be
guys,
right back with your instructions.
Back-to-back Cab Callaways when we come back, if you're listening today.
Instructions are coming up at 3 p.m.
Instructions on how to save your son, Brooke, at 3, weather at 3:30. We do weather on the 7s and the 17s each hour. We're also going to let you know where Brooke is and if he's alive at the bottom of the hour.
Kidnapping instructions on the 15s.
Alrighty. Till then, we're doing back-to-back Cab Calloway.
Alex was to be ready to drive the car to drop off the money at any time. It being the Depression on November 15th, the Harts got several people contacting them trying to get the ransom money.
Oh, shit.
So now everyone's like, yeah, I got your boy.
Yeah.
Hey, how you doing? I took your kid.
Oh, shit.
So they were all pretty obviously fake. So each person they realized right away was bullshitting, but it just turned into like a fucking
like
shit
I am
show.
Spartacus if I have your child.
That's exactly it.
I have your child.
The police also found a white pillowcase in the bay.
Oh my God, no.
Thank you.
Oh my God.
Terrifying.
Brooks is a woman.
Somebody been sleeping. Naturally, this brings us to child actor Jackie Coogan.
I'll see you later, Dave. Take care, bud.
Jackie Coogan was born in Los Angeles in 1914 and started performing as a baby in vaudeville and film.
I mean...
Baby.
A baby.
A baby.
That's just... I mean... And
hey, did you guys see the baby in that vaudeville show last night?
Imagine the laws when it comes to what you can do with a baby at this time.
Now,
when I say imagine the laws, I mean imagine the no laws.
No laws.
Of what you could do. Sure, drown him. We got to back up. They're like Milo and Otis, basically.
And here's our baby. We're going to shoot him out of a cannon.
All right. Whoa, he really hit that wall hard, guys.
Yeah.
Get another one.
We're going to need a second baby.
Get two more.
Ah, this show's fucked.
Oh, we're still mic'd.
Can you cross baby off the sign out front?
Baby.
A baby.
All right, baby. Now get out there. Put on your tap diaper.
Charlie Chaplin discovered Jackie Coogan when he was a boy and thought he was a natural mimic. He was immediately cast in a Chaplin film, and his career took off.
Wait, which is he the kid?
I actually didn't put down the name of the movies.
He's got to be the kid.
He was in a few Chaplin movies. He might have been the kid.
Right.
He's a huge star. He was a big hit with all kinds of merch and other crap being named after him, like Jackie Coogan Peanut Butter, Jackie Coogan Stationery, Jackie Coogan Whistles, Jackie Coogan Records, Jackie Coogan Dolls. It just goes on and on like that.
Jackie Coogan Whistles.
This Jackie Coogan Peanut Butter tastes like a baby.
It's hard to eat the Jackie Coogan peanut butter when playing the Jackie Coogan whistle. I wish they made Jackie Coogan milk.
Coogan made somewhere between $3 to $4 million.
Wow.
Which is about $50 million in today's money.
Wow, so he was Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah. Well, he was more, who's the little guy from Different Strokes?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Gary Coleman.
He's a little more Gary Coleman.
Okay.
His parents spent it all.
Oh, good.
Well, mom and stepdad. They said Jackie was just having fun and didn't know he was making money the whole time, so what was the big deal?
Hey.
What's the big deal?
I like the attitude of these parents.
Is it weird that people who would put a baby in a vaudeville show would spend all the baby's money?
Let me get this straight. You're shocked at how little money we're giving the kid? Think of what we've been doing the whole time.
Holy shit.
We're awful.
Are you out of your fucking mind? I made a baby play the drums.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, we got a little stunt double right here in the belly. Isn't that right, Ma?
Double baby. Right, so they spend it all. They blew it all. I mean,
how do you spend $4 million in that time?
They blew it all.
In the Depression.
Well, they were just buying fucking houses and fur coats and all that shit. They were those people.
Oh, that's so great.
His mom said she never promised him any of the money.
Because he was like 2.
And that Jackie was, quote, a bad boy.
Oh, okay.
So that's fair, right?
Oh, that is fair.
That's fair.
He's a child.
One can assume that when he hit his 20s, he was a little angry.
Why?
He was schooled on sets until he was 10. Then he started attending actual schools. And at one point, he ended up for a brief time at Santa Clara University. There he met and became friends with one Brooke Hart.
Really? But the pillowcase.
Back to the pillowcase.
Okay.
Good, well timed.
Yes. Back on the pillowcase.
Police knew Jackie Coogan had lost a very similar pillowcase when he was at a local football game with Brooke.
Wait.
What?
What do you mean, what? How the fuck? Who? Okay.
What? It's a small town.
Many questions.
They
many
got their
questions.
eyes on everything.
Many questions.
Yeah.
Why does he have a pillowcase that is important to him? Let me keep going.
He's doing some pranks at the game.
What pranks?
Put the pillowcase on your head.
Hey, you want a nap? I'm just kidding. It's empty, you motherfucker.
Put the pillowcase on your head and run around the field.
Not a prank. That's not a prank.
I used to be a childhood star.
That's a game. That's not a prank. Also, how do you call the police, and how do the police give enough of a fuck?
I don't know if they called the police or if just everyone in town knew that Jackie lost his pillowcase.
All right. Let me paint a picture for you. Imagine you walk up to a conversation between two people, and they're talking about a pillowcase.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Hey, can I get in on this, you guys?
No, you don't. You think no?
You know what? I had to tell you something. I use pillowcases. So
hey, they're a big part of my life.
I find my interest piqued.
A pillowcase introduced me to my wife. I used to date a pillowcase. My first wife was actually a pillowcase.
Oh, God.
So now the cops know that he had a pillowcase that went missing because they heard through the town's lamest gossip line ever.
Jackie lost a pillowcase.
Did you hear about Jackie?
What happened?
He lost a pillowcase.
Holy shit, where?
I did think in the water. Also, the Hart's child's missing, but this pillowcase.
I'm more concerned about the pillowcase.
Me too. I couldn't give a shit.
Fuck the kid.
Obviously. Well, you're going a little extreme, obviously.
Fuck the kid.
Well, that's tough to hear.
Okay, so the cops believed...
Imagine getting assigned the pillowcase case.
Okay, hey, Jimmy, we found a pillowcase. Can you track down what's going on with that?
Look, I said I was sorry I shot the guy. Please stop giving me these bullshit cases.
No, it's not a bullshit case. This could break everything. This could break this thing. This is a pillowcase.
Ah, my God. I just ate. I can't look at these pictures.
When's the last time a pillowcase didn't break open a crime?
Look at this thing. Where are you, Case? Where are you?
So, the cops believed that Coogan hadn't lost the pillowcase at the game, and that it ended up in Brooke's car, and they didn't realize it, and then it was tossed in the water by the kidnappers.
So they have a magic bullet theory on a pillowcase?
Look, it's a stretch, but we're working with...
There was a second pillowcase.
We're working with whatever we got right now. All we got is a pillowcase in the water.
Okay, first of all, they're chasing a fucking pillowcase crime. Okay?
I mean...
And second of all, their timeline is a little fucking crazy.
The timeline's not great. The fact that Jackie thinks he lost the pillowcase at the football game...
And then it's in Brooke's
car. Then they find a pillowcase in the water. All pillowcases look the same at this fucking time.
Oh, my God.
So... It's like they found a pillowcase. I'm like, guys, I think we got this.
It's a match. Do the DNA test.
So Coogan was brought to the police station to look at the alleged pillowcase.
Wait.
I guess it's not alleged.
Like a fucking lineup?
We got 5 pillowcases in there.
Which one's yours, Jackie?
Number 3, please. Someone please manipulate number 3
That's
forward.
the goddamn one! That's the goddamn one! Hold him down! Don't hit him in the face!
I'd never forget the case face like that.
What are you doing? I just like sleeping.
I didn't do nothing.
It's the pillowcase.
Coogan said the pillowcase wasn't his.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Okay. All right, let's just move on. We really...
Clearly, when you are calling in a guy to look at a pillowcase you found in the bay, you're so far from solving the crime, it's astounding.
How great is it when you have to pull down a sheet to reveal a pillowcase? You're gonna... Just tell me real quick if you recognize it.
My God.
Oh, God, I thought that was going to be...
That's not even the pillowcase.
I thought you were going to show me Brooke. That's a pillowcase.
So wet.
It's not even mine. Mine had a stripe on it.
Poor guy. Never got a chance.
But the word of the pillowcase being found hit the streets.
Oh, my God. I mean, how is there nothing better to talk about? Did you hear?
Hey, Jimmy, did you hear about the pillowcase?
I did. It's all I'm talking about.
People created a story around it.
People.
Locals concocted the story.
Oh, boy.
That the pillowcase had been put over Brooke's head and he had been shot execution style.
So, okay. Now,
okay.
Well, first of all, what? Second of all, is this grounded anywhere near any reality at all?
I would like to tell you there's absolutely nothing to this.
Okay, so
there is nothing to this rumor.
People just rumor milled. This
is the craziest rumor that's ever happened in the history of the world.
This is literally the game of telephone on the streets.
They found a pillowcase in the bay, which is far away from San Jose.
It wasn't his.
It's not like San Jose is close to the fucking bay.
It's not his pillowcase.
It's not his pillowcase.
There's no bullet hole in it.
There's nothing in it.
But people
it's
just think
just a pillowcase.
that he was shot execution style through the pillowcase.
Yeah.
Okay, well, good to catch up and make sure we're on the same page.
Now, instead of the instructions on where to drop the ransom being broadcast over the radio, a second ransom note came.
Hey, ignore our first one. We were stupid.
You know what? We was talking about the radio plan. It's a bad plan.
Seems
so now
like it'll be easy.
Second letter. Also postmarked in San Francisco. This one told Alex to put the money in a black bag and drive to Los Angeles.
Much better.
If he agreed to this arrangement, he was supposed to write a 2 on a sign, large sign, and put it in the window of the department store.
Oh, wow. Okay, I like that move.
That evening, Alex got a call from a man who said he was Brooke's kidnapper. He now wanted Alex to take a train to Los Angeles.
This guy's a nightmare.
The FBI tracing the call. The FBI traced the call. By the
they
way.
did?
They have traced. Yeah, they have tracing equipment at this time, which is amazing. So they traced that call. They found out it was coming from a train station downtown. They rushed to this train station and arrested a bank teller who was walking down the street, who had nothing to do with the crime.
But he might have been the pillowcase.
You like pillowcases, buddy? Are you a pillowcase kind of guy? Is that what you are?
Look, you got to excuse my partner. He gets a little rabid when it comes to situations like this.
You like to flip it over so it's cold on one side?
Leave him alone.
Look at me in the fucking eyes.
Leave him alone, Frank. Now, look, I understand that you're just a banker. You're just trying to get through your day-to-day life. You meet a pillowcase.
Right.
You guys go out on the town. You have a couple drinks.
Date.
You're taking a play.
You're like, hey, pillowcase,
One thing
you want
leads
to go
to another.
out to the bay? You want to look
Frank,
at the...
you're getting very heated,
From
Frank.
the bridge,
Frank,
you...
Frank,
okay.
Frank, your vein is popping.
Okay.
You're getting very heated.
I'm all right.
Very heated.
All right.
Want a drink, sir? You want
My
Not you, Frank, the guy. Frank.
wife.
Frank.
My first wife.
Hey, let's take a time out.
Was a pillowcase.
Frank, maybe take a time
All
out.
right, I'm going to walk at him and take a walk around the block.
Take a walk around the block.
I'm gonna walk around the block.
Blow up some steam.
You know what? There's some nice sheets over at Hearts. I might pick up a set.
Oh, that's not a great answer.
So there's it's just a bank teller. We're taking a walk for the night. The next day, Alex put a sign in the window of his department store with the letter 2 on it.
Also, wait, but what is the other option? Is to put it nothing
he's
or
going
like
back.
a 5?
He's the whole train.
Put a 5 up. Fuck him.
The whole train conversation didn't come across because the guy ran off
Right.
And he put another message on the sign. So he puts a 2 and he writes something else. And what he writes is, I cannot drive. Because Alex can't drive.
So just imagine being a regular shopper. It's like, I can't. What is going on there? I cannot
2,
drive.
I can't drive. Is this place open?
What do they sell here again? Because all it says is 2, I can't drive.
I don't know what's going on.
Oh, come on, hurry. It's the 2 I can't drive sale.
Alex had never learned to drive. Later that evening, he got a call from the kidnappers telling him to get in the car and drive to Los Angeles. To which Alex said,
I was clear.
I can't drive. And they had to work something out. Then the caller hung up.
Boy, they are really, they're really making this painful.
Well, they thought they had it. They're like, we got the plan. We'll get him in the fucking car. Okay, hey, what did he say? He said he can't drive. Oh, fuck me.
That must have been the other stuff next to the 2.
Where's the pillowcase?
No.
So that night, another call came. And again, Alex was told to get in the car and drive. But Alex kept asking questions about his son. How do I get my boy? Where?
What's a clutch?
Again, the call went on and on. Alex said, I can't drive. I'm in no physical shape to make a trip. Mr. Hart, I want your answer. Yes or no, will you go? Alex responded, I'm willing to deal with you to do anything in my power to get my boy back, but I am unable to leave right now. So they went back and forth like that.
Why is he he's just unable to leave just because?
Alex then said he wanted proof that Brooke was alive, but the kidnapper wouldn't give it to him. He told him that Brooke was in a safe place.
Dude.
All the while, the FBI was
tracing
the call. This is before movies knew about phone traces, so no one knew.
Which, by the way,
get off the phone.
If you think about it, wouldn't that have been a great thing for government agencies to preserve?
I think they can't because at some point at trial they have to say it happened.
But
you're right.
I mean, shouldn't there be some minor, like...
Shouldn't there's some way for the government to listen to our calls?
No,
and keep all our information
David,
and not tell us about it?
They're already doing that, but I'm saying, wouldn't it make more, like, it would be an easier world. We wouldn't need to have all of our emails collected if a lot of people still didn't know about phone tapping, which is the movie board law enforcement agency I'm pitching.
It's great that you're such a sort of crazy totalitarian asshole that you want the cops to just be able to listen to your phone calls whenever without telling you.
I'm just trying to make America great again.
Well.
So sue me, pal.
Okay, so the FBI is tracing the call. They learn it's coming from a parking garage downtown. Alex continues to talk. I want to deal with you. To be fair, I can't go. I'm ill. Can't we get somebody that will be satisfactory to you as a go-between? Okay, Alex, who should we get? I don't know. Someone you name. Or I can name somebody. Mr. Hart, I've got orders from headquarters. Will you go or not? In the end, the caller became very frustrated.
I understand. It's hard to be on the caller's side in this situation, but he's being very frustrated. Have a pitch.
Alex, he told Alex, he got frustrated, he told Alex, you have to drive yourself. But it was too late. The police rushed to the garage. When they arrived, they found a man talking on a payphone with his back to the street. He did not notice as a group of police pulled up and jumped out of their cars. He only turned around when they were right next to him. He turned around and found himself face-to-face with Police Chief Emig.
How great would it be if it was the pillowcase? Yeah, you found me, huh?
There you are. Scooby-Doo. What's your name? The chief yelled. Thomas Thurmond, he said.
Interesting.
Hi, how are you?
Hey.
Thomas was taken...
Which number do I hit for operator?
Thomas was taken to the San Jose jail and interrogated by the police and the FBI. He said he had nothing to do with the kidnapping, and then he had been on the phone with a friend. When asked who the friend was, he said he couldn't remember.
I don't know his name, but he's the best.
He's my buddy.
He's a good friend.
I don't know his name, but I call him on the phone.
His name is Payphone Johnson.
Do you know what a payphone is?
Exit sign Williams.
So I go stand next to his payphone, and my buddy calls me.
His name's Doorknob Johnson.
He never tells me his name.
He's a good friend.
We talk for hours.
You'd like him. He's a lot like you guys.
Thomas then switched up the story again and said he was talking to his mom.
No, it was my mom. My mom's my best friend.
None of this sounded plausible to the cops and the FBI, so they kept asking him questions. He was grilled from 8 p.m. until 2:30 a.m. when he finally spilled the beans.
Oh, boy.
Thomas said he was involved in the kidnapping of Brooke Hart and that his accomplice was Jack Holmes. The two of them had taken Brooke, driving to the San Mateo Bridge, where they had tied him up and thrown him into the San Francisco Bay.
What?
Brooke Hart was dead.
Oh, my God.
He had been killed an hour after he was kidnapped.
Oh, that's a unfair turn.
Not a good ending.
No.
Thomas explained in detail the entire crime. They had taken Brooke at gunpoint from right behind the store in the parking lot. They had then driven him to where the abandoned Studebaker was in Milpitas. At that location, they got into another car and drove to the San Mateo Bridge. They then told Brooke to get out of the car, and he did. Jack then walked over to Brooke and hit him over the head with a brick they had brought with them, especially to hit Brooke over the head.
Now, while that sounds awful, I would hope that someone would go, "Hey, Brooke, meet Brick," right before they did it.
Hey, that looks like my pillowcase in the clunk.
That's definitely a good pass-out line. It looks just like my pillowcase.
Brooke then started yelling, "Help, help," and Jack hit him over the head again with the brick and knocked him out.
This is like on a street, on a bridge?
Yeah, on a bridge. San Mateo Bridge.
How do you not...
I think back then there's just not that many people around.
That's true.
It's the middle of the night.
Sounds easier.
It's not the middle of the night. It's like 6. So there's not that
I go to bed
around.
at 1 p.m.,
Sure.
so to me that is the middle. I freak out then.
Then the two men tied Brooke up in baling wire around his arms and torso. Jack grabbed the upper part, and Thomas grabbed the legs, and they lifted him over the railing and threw him into the bay.
What kind of a plan is this?
It's a good plan. But Brooke wasn't done fighting. He came to when he hit the water.
What?
The tide was out, so the water level was low. So he just kind of stood up.
No. I mean, Dave, that is a Coen Brothers shot. Are you serious? You throw a fucking dude over a bridge, like, well, is he standing? This is going to how are we going to get down?
Oh, God,
Sweet God. Move.
So,
Hey, fuck you guys! Brooke? Assholes!
also, why don't you just pretend like it's deep and float away? And
I agree with that. I always
Why
think,
are you jumping up?
No, you totally are like,
So he was able to get himself out of the water, and he starts yelling for help.
There's many notes. I have many notes on all of this.
But this is before movies, so people don't know what to do.
Still notes.
We're all trained by
Instinctual
movies.
notes. No.
We're all trained by movies what to do.
That's why I'm saying keep a lot of info out of movies. Pro-government. Make America great again.
Thomas then pulled out a pistol and climbed down the bridge where he shot Brooke several times. He kept shooting until all the moving and yelling stopped. So he's dead. Now, the two murderers drove back to town and started making the ransom calls. Then Jack met up with his lady and he took her to a movie. They watched Disney's Three Little Pigs.
Well, that's a regular day.
It's a good kidnapping
Murder
movie.
a man twice and then take a date to see a Three Little Pigs movie.
Thomas told the cop where Jack lived, and they went to his SRO at the California Hotel at 3:30 a.m. They brought Thomas with them. Jack was living there because he had recently separated from his wife. The police made Thomas knock on the door until Jack woke up. "Who is it?" asked Jack. "It's me, Thomas," replied the snitch. Jack opened the door and the cops rushed in, subduing him. Now both kidnappers were in custody.
Okay.
Because Brooke had been a well-known kid, everyone who shopped at Alec's department store knew the family. Tons of people worked at the store. Also, the locals were furious when they heard about the crime. So the sheriff and FBI brought Jack to San Francisco to question him. Jack denied everything. But with everything they knew, it didn't take long to convince Jack that he was pretty fucked. And at that point, he told them everything, too. They had both killers' confessions.
Okay. The pillowcase is still at large, right?
Yeah. We're going to get back to the pillowcase. This isn't called the pillowcase kidnapping for no reason.
Excuse me?
In San Jose, the rumors flew. Everyone knew the killers, and the details of what they had done leaked out. People were pissed. Other crimes that had occurred throughout the county were now being attributed to the men.
I mean, but this town...
Hey, my cow's dead!
This town doesn't...
God damn these guys!
They don't handle gossip well.
No, they're terrible with gossip. It's the worst gossip town ever.
Did you hear what happened?
What?
The pillowcase raped Brooke.
Jesus Christ, I knew that pillowcase was a fucking monster when I saw him.
And now Jackie Coogan's a car. Yeah. Did you hear? Jackie Coogan is a Studebaker now.
So the press wasn't helping. A San Jose newspaper wrote an editorial called Human Devils.
Whoa.
Anyone reading the article understood that the paper was saying these men needed to be killed.
Right.
Now, quote, "If mob violence could ever be justified, it would be a case like this, and we believe the general public will agree with us. If you could have been the writer who called at the Hart home to offer the paper's sympathy, it would have made you feel like going out and committing a lynching yourself." Maybe as a newspaper writer, don't offer your sympathy.
It seems like that's combustible language.
It seems like it might be a thing.
It's fiery.
And this was national news. The Washington Times reported Hart boy slain, kidnapper says. Another San Francisco paper wrote, "Let justice be swift." And another said, "Seek noose for Hart killers." All over, and particularly in the local area, newspapers continued with endless headlines to sensationalize the murder as much as possible.
Kill these two!
People were being riled up much more than they would have been. The FBI continued to interrogate the two men. They were given psychology tests in case they were going to use an insanity defense.
Oh, I thought you meant to see if they could be psychologists. Which I was going to say, they should not be taking that test.
You guys, you kids want to go back to school?
You guys are really actually naturals at this. You seem to have your finger on the pulse of the human condition.
You guys do. I think you guys would be good students. I think you got a feeling about people.
Shame about that murder.
Yeah, if you hadn't done that, you wouldn't.
Anyway.
Oh, okay. Thomas refused to cooperate with the psychologist. The psychologist report said both men had no signs of mental defect. The two prisoners were then brought back to San Jose and put in the county jail right in the heart of town. The Harts talked to the press. Alex said, quote, "My boy is gone. Neither words or actions can bring him back. My wife is confined to her room under care of physicians and nurses. Brooke's 2 sisters wouldn't go out in public. Alex said everyone in the town was being incredibly kind.
Also, hats are 2 for $1 at Hearts on Sunday. Come on down. We're having a big weekend.
We got my son's dad sale going on. If you want to get a tablecloth,
come on down for Father's Day. Get a shaving kit that every dad will love.
Dad sucks. 5 for 1.
Murder-free pillowcases. Come on down. We got them in lavender with lovely frills. You'll love it.
get yourself a Please Hammer, Don't Hurt 'em blouse.
We have some gum.
Okay.
I think we've ruined this poor man's strife.
Yep. So, the Santa Clara District Attorney announced that Jack and Thomas had both blamed each other for the crime, which would make their statements not admissible in court without physical evidence.
Okay.
So they need physical evidence, and police began looking for the body the next morning around the bridge. There they found indications that Hart had still been alive when thrown into the water, and that he may have tried to climb the steel columns to get out.
Can you imagine? I mean, what? He's like Will Ferrell and Austin Powers. How that must be amazing.
Yeah.
Imagine if he survived.
No, he's dead.
I mean, he did for sure. He's dead.
He survived the drop. He should have just.
But I mean, if there was even more,
float away. Whatever happened to floating away? You ever seen a pillowcase? What it does? That's why people don't kill them. The SF Chronicle reported, quote, a ring of broken and clawed barnacles on one of the piles showed where the boy had clung, desperately hurt in a frantic battle of youth against death, weakened by loss of blood and possible wounds inflicted by his 2 confessed murderers. His cries lessened as he slipped into the dark waters.
Possible crimes?
Anyway, that may have happened. Yeah. That's what we wrote up.
What?
It sounds pretty good, Jimmy. Print it. It's a made-up story about how a kid died at the end.
News.
All made up. So divers found wires with strands of Brooke's hair wrapped around them. All right, evidence. On November 26th, a couple of hunters found his body. Hang on.
Oh,
the crabs and eels had been having a feast.
David.
His clothes were still on and intact, but his face and hair had been eaten away. The clothes were quickly determined to be a brand sold at Hart's department store. Later that day, a friend of Brooke's. By the way, I really cleaned up what the body was like.
Why?
It was
just
extensive.
Graphic.
I could have just gone on for a while about what happened to that body. Crabs are fucking hungry.
Any like fish or anything that feeds on stuff that is at the bottom of the. I mean, it'll go down to bone.
Yeah,
like
they go super fast.
Might take a month.
Yeah, but it won't even take a month. They get at. There was no top part really. Okay.
What do you mean? No top part?
I mean, the whole upper torso was like
just yeah. Right. Okay. Thanks for not being graphic.
Later that day, a friend of Brooks went to the coroner's office and identified him. Newspapers then reported that Jack and Thomas would both be pleading not guilty for reasons of insanity.
Sorry, how can he identify him if he's dressed like the drummer from the Grateful Dead video, Touch of Grey?
Maybe he was like, yeah, them's his feet.
Yeah, that's his beard on a skeleton.
You know what? I always used to rub his feet on my face before we played catch.
Yeah,
so that's him.
You know, he used to have skin.
Oh God, no!
So you might have the wrong guy.
This is him. I saw Brooke take off his skin once.
Oh, that's right, when we were swimming.
Yeah. He took off his skin.
right
so this
before
is
he went
definitely
swimming.
him.
Yeah, he
this
took
is
his
old skinless
cloak
Brooke.
of skin off.
That's why we call them skinless Brooke.
Yep.
So they're going to plead not guilty by reasons of insanity, and then Jack's father made a payment of $10,000 in cash to a prominent San Francisco attorney.
Okay.
At Brooke's school, Santa Clara University, rumors swirled that a group of his friends were going to attack the jail. The sheriff's office was made aware. 2 hours after Brooke's body was found, someone threw a rock at the front door of the jail in San Jose. The idea that the killers might plead insanity seemed to have put people over the edge. Never mind the way they killed him. People began to gather and talk. Lynching of these 2 sons of bitches was the common conclusion. When word had first reached the public of the murder, Crowds had gathered at the sheriff's office. The lawmen handed out their heavy weapons and brought in barricades. But when the FBI was called, they were told there was no threat. When the FBI called. In a memo from local FBI agent Hughes to Director Hoover, he said, quote, contrary to the newspaper observation, there was no crowd outside, no indication of possible violence. But on November 26th, things were different. By dusk, hundreds of men had formed a mob outside the jail across the street in St. James Park. And then they slowly began spreading out. They had been encouraged to meet there by radio stations.
What?
Which were making announcements all day long that a lynching would occur that night at St. James Park.
Hey, caller number 9 is going to get 2 tickets to the lynching tonight. We're forming a mob mentality. Also, a little later, back-to-back Cab Calloway coming at you.
Lynching at 9 p.m. at the park.
That's right. We do weather at 7 and 17 past the hour.
We're going to be down there giving out horns.
It's 5:15 of the p.m. right now.
And bats. And torches. Come on down and get a hot Larry the Tomato Torch.
First person
I'll be on the airwaves all day today. Get your Larry the Tomato Torch tonight. We're going to burn that tomato, right?
First person to show us a WKTOL bumper sticker is going to be the Freak of the Week.
Freak of the Week!
Freak of the Week!
Who wants to be the Freak of the Week? You can help put that news around those bad guys.
Anyway, let's murder these guys.
Let's listen to another Cab Calloway, because we cannot think of another musician from this
guy
era.
we have records of right here as Cab Calloway.
You listen to the Cab Calloway station.
That's right. We have 2 Cab Calloway songs, and that's all we're going to play. Coming up next, Minnie the Moocher for the 65th time today.
I can't wait till someone calls us and tells us that Cab Calloway wasn't performing.
Listen, that reference is
as
good as it gets.
This is all we got.
When you said that, I was like, we've got our hunk of meat. Let's eat.
So, where are we? Right.
L.A.
There we are. We're right there. So the radio stations are calling, making announcements. They're making announcements all day that a lynching is going to occur. The sheriff immediately knew he had a problem, and he called the governor's office and asked that the National Guard be sent over.
At no point do they say to the radio station, hey, knock
why
that
don't you
off.
cut the shit off with the, the thing about the killing the guys?
Just play your Cab Calloway.
Let's wrap that shit
alone.
up.
Yeah.
What about like a sweepstakes or something? What about like a...
At the mob? Okay, we got a big sweepstakes giveaway.
The governor was a man named James Rolfe. He was a Republican from San Francisco and had worked in the shipping business, where he worked his way up very successfully. He served as president of 2 banks, ran for mayor and won, and served 19 years in charge of the city. There he got his nickname, Sonny Jim.
Sure.
He had a theme song, which was...
Of course he did.
There are smiles that make you happy.
Well, Dave, I don't think I need to hear any more information on this
Sonny
guy.
Jim, there's smile that makes you happy. This is the best mayor ever.
Sonny Jim, smile at you, make you happy. Yeah.
He was very close to the Catholic Church and understood that's where the power of his base was. Using the power of the Archbishop, he ran for governor and won in 1930. Now he had a situation on his hands. He knew all the facts, and it was pretty clear what was about to go down. So, being Sonny Jim, he denied the sheriff's request to send the National Guard.
Good. Okay.
Yep.
Perfect.
Jack's prominent attorney called the governor and said the National Guard should be deployed because the crowd was gathering to lynch his client, and Sonny Jim responded, I will pardon all the lynchers. I'm sure in a very sunny way. He said it in a very sunny way, I'm sure.
Well, yeah. I mean, he probably had his theme song playing in the background.
Around 9 p.m., the crowd was at least 5,000. At least. But
And the National Guard's not there?
Could have been up to 15,000.
Holy shit.
There are men, women, and children now. 3,000 cars, as people had traveled from all over to see the event, were haphazardly parked on nearby streets. They lit burning torches and put trash barrels along the street.
So they knew what a mob should look like.
They knew exactly what a mob should look like.
Right.
The voices of angry men yelling increased and increased. It was only a matter of time. They believed because of the insanity defense, these 2 guys were going to get off. A bottle or rock would be thrown against the building every minute or so. Sonny Jim was kept abreast of the situation with constant phone calls from the head of the California Highway Patrol, Raymond Cato. Sonny Jim had appointed him, so he trusted him. And Sonny Jim actually had a trip planned. He was supposed to leave this evening to go to the Western Governors Conference in Boise, Idaho, but he canceled the trip.
Okay.
So that's good.
Yeah, for sure.
Not because he was worried about mob violence, but because he felt as if he left, then Lieutenant Governor Frank Merriam would be in charge, and he was worried Merriam would send out the National Guard.
Wow.
So he delayed his trip.
Wow. Just to make the wrong decision for sure.
Yep. Give them to us, someone yelled from outside. The sheriff watched from a window above as the crowd yelled at him to hand over the prisoners. The sheriff inside realized a lot of the people in the mob, all the deputies were like, hey, Bobby, what are you doing? I got to kill that guy. Like,
come on.
No,
don't be like that.
You know how he's your kid's coach for his baseball team?
Yeah.
What about not killing that guy?
No, we're still going to kill him.
That would be so weird.
Awkward.
Yeah. So they're looking at their friends and neighbors. Jack looked at one of his deputies and said, oh, this doesn't look good.
Good.
At the jail, a panicked deputy shot tear gas into the crowd to try to get them to leave. He just did that like on his own. It wasn't ordered to. He just got freaked out.
Good. So it sounds like back in this time, planning was not something that was important.
Everybody's on their own, boys.
Yeah, all right, figure it out on the fly. Go us.
This just pissed off the crowd. Now it was on. They threw rocks and bricks through the jailhouse windows. They started trashing police cars. The deputies then fired tear gas, and the telephone wires leading to the jail were ripped down so they could not call for help.
Oh, shit.
In the jail, the sheriff saw what was coming and ordered the 2 lower floors of the building to be abandoned. That's where Thomas and Jack were being held in cells on the 2nd floor. They removed all the weapons and put them on the 3rd floor to keep them out of the hands of the mob. Police turned off the lights downstairs.
They can't see through the dark.
They'll never get in here if they can't
They're
find
afraid of it.
Stairs.
It's all 6-year-olds, right?
How are they going to find the hallway?
Turn the lights off and be quiet.
Later, the sheriff told the press, quote, we had enough weapons to kill 1,000 people, but we didn't want to do it.
Well, it still isn't enough.
But that would have been pretty great, right?
Sure, yeah, that'd been great, Dave.
At 10 p.m., a message was sent into the jail from the mob outside. The letter said they would be coming in at 11 p.m. and the cops should stay out of the way.
Ugh.
When 11 p.m. arrived...
Jack's like, what does it say? He's like, it just says they're thinking of wrapping it up.
Yeah, it says you guys are good. You guys are fine.
Apparently turning the lights off really threw him for a loop.
I guess they just want the pillowcase back.
Anyway, I'm going to go pee for a day.
I'm going to go pee out the window
for about a day.
The sheriff told... So the crowd was basically now at 11 p.m. going insane with rage. The sheriff told his men to do what they could without using their weapons.
That is the worst news.
Well, I think he thinks if they shoot someone, then the crowd will grab the gun and shoot them.
But isn't that asking to just get abused? Isn't he being like, hey, let him beat the shit out of you?
Better than dead.
Yeah, but yes, right. Okay. But it is sort of just like the command is like, no. Let them dominate you with their fists.
Yeah, but if you shoot him and then they take the gun away.
I'm not saying shoot him. I'm saying cut the guys.
Okay.
I'm saying cut.
Okay, you're a terrible sheriff.
Hey, well, listen. I don't have a song.
The wooden barricades the deputies had put in front of the jail were broken up and tossed through the windows. Another mob formed in the alleyway. They tossed shit in through the upper windows, making the cops hide under desks and in closets. There was a construction site close by, and the mob raided it to get supplies for the inevitable charge.
Oh, Jesus.
There they found what they could use as a makeshift battering ram, a large steel pole.
Ugh.
They used it to bang away on the front door of the jail. The group in the alley saw what was happening, also ran over to the construction site and got a second battering ram.
Hey, look, they got battering rams over here.
The cops kept shooting tear gas out of the windows. That would stop the battering briefly, but they would just come right back and start banging away. It took about 5 minutes for them to break the doors down. Hundreds of people rushed in. Young Anthony Cataldi, who was just 17 years old, was very excited. He would be interviewed by the press later and told them, I was the first one of the gang to break into the jail. That's not something you should say.
Incriminating.
Do you think that's incriminating?
Yeah, it sounds like maybe not something you want to confess openly. I killed him.
But the cops didn't just give up the prisoners. They went mano a mano, using their fists to keep the mob back, like from some fucking awesome 70s movie.
All right.
In the end, too many dudes.
Okay. That would be the name of the movie, by the way.
The sheriff himself was beat to the floor and stomped on. He ended up with a fractured skull.
I called that, by the way.
Yep. Having finished with the cops, the mob ran up to the second floor to the cells. The lone jail keeper was beaten unconscious.
Hey, I'm just here. Hey, ow!
Jack and Thomas were pulled from their cells. But Jack was a bigger guy, having been a football star and all, and he put up a decent fight, putting several guys down with just one swing with his murder fists. But even he could only hold them off for so long. They hauled Jack and Thomas out of their cells and down the hall. Thomas kept screaming he was not the killer, that they had the wrong guy.
The pillowcase did it!
So they're dragging him down the stairs, and because everyone in town knew each other, some people were like, hey, that's not Thomas. They had grabbed the wrong prisoner.
Oh, my God.
So they threw that guy down the stairs and went back and got Thomas.
That guy was like, thank you for saying that, sir.
I'm good. Just roll me down the stairs.
Oh, fine.
Thomas put up a hell of a fight.
Might actually leave now that we're here.
Thomas put up a hell of a fight. They had to beat him unconscious to get him out.
Also, you got to think of like Thomas's 2 minutes when they took the wrong guy, and he was like, "Oh, sweet God,
This is fucking awesome.
oh, this is best case scenario."
Yeah. Seriously, he was like, boom.
Oh, yeah.
That was when the term boom diggity was created.
Is that right?
That's what it says right here.
You sure? Well, because you wrote. Okay.
So now Thomas is unconscious, and luckily he never woke up again. Their joyous screams brought people as they took this. So they're taking the people out of the jailhouse. The joyous screams brought people pouring out of buildings all over town. I read it described in one newspaper as whoops, whoop 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 whoop.
Sure,
like that.
sure.
Two were taken to St. James Park. St. James was actually the actual St. James. I looked it up. Was actually decapitated by King Herod. So this is a good park this is a good park to.
I wonder if they'd done that research. If one of them was like, gentlemen, let the moment not be lost upon us. Actually, St. James, you're right. Let's just cut his head off.
Okay,
You're right.
yeah,
Absolutely.
you're right.
Sorry, I don't mean to get bogged down in facts.
The size of the crowd is now, by most people, estimated to have been 10,000. Torches were all around. The two confessed killers were dragged by their feet across the road into the park. As they went, they were kicked and punched and had bricks thrown at them. The mob screamed at them, asking them how they liked it. I gotta be honest, not much.
Yeah.
Not
Do you
a
go
lot.
honest?
If I'm being honest, the brick, a little over the top.
I'd say the bricks are my least favorite part.
Those are over the top.
I also don't like the kicking and the punching.
But Jack continued to fight, which just caused the mob to react even more violently toward him. He kept breaking free and would start swinging and dropping guys and then be subdued again.
Jesus.
These guys. I mean, I know this guy just killed someone, but he's right now my favorite in the story.
Well, that's... do you want to be on record with that?
They were taken to the northern corner of the park where a kid climbed a big elm tree with a rope.
Hey, kid, make this tree a murderer.
Scramble up there, monkey boy!
The noose was put around Jack's head. He managed to fight it off a couple of times, but it would just go back on after beating him down. Thomas was much easier, being completely unconscious. They slipped the noose around him. A few men grabbed hold of the rope, and up went Thomas, hanging about 10 feet up. Jack wasn't going easy, not his style. He kept fighting. They beat him more, broke both of his arms, stripped him naked, and put the noose on his neck for the last time. Several men, including a young man named Jackie Coogan,
Oh, boy.
grabbed the rope and lifted him into the air. His legs kicked as he struggled. The crowd of thousands cheered. Hip, hip, hooray! Hip, hip, for he's a jolly good fella. Right?
Isn't that so fucking weird?
Oh, it's insane.
Like, do you think, is there any cause, any crime, anything that in this day and age, assuming you wouldn't get hurt, right?
Right.
That would cause you to go somewhere and be a part of something like this and see a couple guys hang in a tree and be like, yeah!
Well, if someone killed my kid.
Right, okay, let's, sure, right. Yes, for sure. Outside of that, anything that, like, a crime that was committed in your neighborhood.
Well, this guy drives up and down the street kind of fast.
David.
What?
You're not killing the guy who fucking hauls ass.
Hey,
down the
speedster. You're done. So the crowd's cheering, and the cheering was followed by applause.
Good. Well, listen.
I just like
a standing O.
Yay! And then they gave like a nice, hey.
Yeah, give it up. So many people to thank.
Give it up for the...
Lord, the list goes on and on.
I want to thank the Hearts.
Obviously, got to thank the Hearts. Alex for not being able to drive.
Sheriff for being unconscious.
But real quick, shout out to God. And this could not have happened without the vision of one pillowcase.
Thank
who,
you.
From the beginning, has been a cheerleader.
And that's on Coogan. So give it up for Coogie.
Coogie.
Their bodies were lit by car headlights, so it had a very theatrical sort of feel.
Very Hitchcock feel.
Some women fainted, apparently not realizing they had come to see two men die. Some men approached Jack's body and burned his feet with matches. That was also met with verbal approval from the crowd.
That's just weird.
His sock went up in flames finally, and the crowd chanted, "Burn, burn."
It's weird to still be fired up.
Yeah, you know. I mean, it was a long buildup, right?
Yeah. I guess you're, yeah.
I mean, when the Packers win a Super Bowl...
Don't you do this.
Do you feel afterwards, is the elation just for a couple minutes?
No, it's for years.
No, it's for a while. So
it's for years.
That's what they're going for.
It's actually what gets us through playoff losses.
Right. So this
like
this is their version of
do
the
you
Packers
want to talk about the Packers?
Winning. No, I don't need to.
Okay.
They did what they needed to do this year.
Dave, it's 2 against 1.
There's a quiet guy here in the room. So people were passing through town to stop and gawk at the scene.
Oh.
Any policeman in the area who had not been beaten in the building just hung back away from the park watching.
Oh.
The press took pictures.
Wallflowers, were they?
Yeah.
Shocking.
The press took pictures of the mob because, it had been broadcast all day that they were going to lynch somebody.
Yeah, you got to put it up on your Facebook page.
So they're taking pictures of the 2 dead men hanging in the tree. People then milled about for hours afterwards. Children played near the tree as 2 dead men swung above their heads. There was said to be a gentle evening breeze. The front pages of newspapers...
Who said that? You know what I remember from that night is honestly just the calm breeze.
You know who said that?
Who?
The fucking reporters that were there.
Ugh.
Painting a picture, man. You got to paint a picture with your words.
The calm breeze slowly blew through the lit sock.
The front pages of newspapers all over the country were splashed with the headline of what had occurred the next day. But unlike previous reports, they were horrified at what had occurred. The mob was called crazy, bloodthirsty, and savage. Editorials discussed how such a thing could have happened in a civilized country such as America, in such a quiet little town like San Jose. The kid who had climbed the tree with the rope was quoted in papers. "I went out to my father's ranch and got some rope for the hanging." In the town, however, the general feeling was that good had been done. The murderers had it coming. The park was...
They could have gone to the trial.
Whatever. The park was pretty fucked up because, it's a lot of people. The park's not made to handle that kind of crowd.
It's like having an outdoor concert.
Right. Some people came looking to collect a souvenir. People kept cutting off parts of the big elm tree as keepsakes. The city had to build a big wooden box around the trunk of the tree to keep people from hacking away at it. Cops now patrolled in great numbers. The jailhouse was ruined. The cops working in the jail remained in the hospital recovering from their wounds. But not everyone was upset. Praise and congratulations were sent from all over to both the city of San Jose and Sonny Jim.
Oh, I knew it.
One read, "Congratulations! I am happy in the knowledge that the people of San Jose have expressed their revolt against crooked attorneys and too lenient parole boards by killing the fiendish murders of Brooke Hart." Also, none of those apply to this situation.
How you showed
the parole board, boys.
How is it possible to celebrate? I'm done. I don't even have a question.
The chief of the State Bureau of Investigation said, quote, "It is to be regretted, but necessary, that the people took the law into their own hands. But they served notice on gangsters that there is no place for them in California."
Shouldn't that be what the police
local
do?
FBI guy. That's the local FBI
Isn't that
guy.
the job of the police?
That's the state
haven't
FBI.
Haven't you ultimately just undone the police's power?
Yeah, he just said, "Go ahead and kill."
Haven't you
guys.
undercut the police's power
Very much
now by saying, hey, worst case scenario, the people get the job done.
I would, yeah.
Okay, well, as long as we're on the same page.
It seemed like the most celebrating was going on in the governor's mansion. The day after the lynching, Sonny Jim said, quote, if anyone is arrested for this good job, I'll pardon them all.
Yeah.
The aroused people of that fine city of San Jose were so enraged, it was only natural that peaceful and law-abiding as they are, they should rise and mete out swift justice to these two murderers and kidnappers.
I do love that even though it probably meant something different at the time, aroused.
Yeah.
They were all fucking horny and ready to just lynch.
Boners everywhere.
Boners and ruined panties. The lot of them.
But Sonny Jim wasn't done. He told reporters that he should have all kidnappers and murderers released from prison and delivered to the people of San Jose who know how to deal with them.
So this is before press secretaries existed in politics?
Yeah,
or?
I mean, you can only imagine there's not a lot of...
Sonny, stop going on record.
The next day, the San Francisco Chronicle reported that Sonny Jim had indeed called San Quentin to ask him how many kidnappers were there.
Oh, my God. He's serious.
He was actually contemplating it enough to call the prison.
I got a new police force called the People.
The City Council of San Jose held a special meeting to determine whether or not to leave the tree as a monument.
That's what they're discussing, not about Sonny.
In the end, it was decided the tree should be cut down.
Sure.
But quite a few testified that it should stay.
Testified.
Despite all that, some people did want to know who was responsible. Some blamed the mob. Others blamed the police for not taking care of the prisoners. Some said it was the fault of the Department of Justice. The FBI made sure everyone knew the prisoners had been in custody of the police. It's not our fault. The district attorney of Alameda County, Earl Warren, pushed for prosecution of those responsible. 7 people were arrested for the hangings. Earl Warren would eventually become Chief Justice of the U.S. Supreme Court. Wow. But Sonny Jim said he would pardon whoever was convicted. Though it turned out Sonny Jim had grossly underestimated the disgust his actions would cause in others. Strong criticism of him came from all over. He lost the nickname Sonny Jim, and it was replaced by Governor Lynch.
Ooh, that is a downshift.
Yeah, that is a serious drop down in
not good.
Nicknames.
No, way worse.
Newspapers all over the country wrote up his quotes and vilified him. He was expelled from the National War Veterans Executive Board, and many in the state and elsewhere began to call for his impeachment. This all took a toll on Governor Lynch. His health failed, and he had a heart attack in June 1934. 8 months after the killing, the man who could have done the most to stop them was dead. Jackie Coogan never confirmed he was one of the men who held the rope, but many said he had been there. He eventually sued his parents in 1938 for all the money they had taken. After legal expenses, he ended up with $126,000.
Jesus.
When things got even worse,
this is a feel-good story.
When things got even worse, he asked Charlie Chaplin for money, who gave him $1,000. Coogan's suit and against his parents resulted in a bill being passed in California called Coogan's Law. It forces 15% of a child actor's earnings be put into a trust.
Isn't it amazing after all that it's only 15%?
I know, right? That's what I was thinking. It's nothing.
15%. You know, we've learned our lesson.
Look, we put this baby in a game show and we get 85%.
So...
In 1936, the movie Fury was released. It was based on the lynching in San Jose and the insanity of lynch mobs. Most importantly, in 1934, the Nazi Party of Germany, in their national magazine, published the photos of the St. James Park lynchings.
Oh, good.
The Nazis used the lynchings to point out the decadence of American life. I just feel that's a little odd.
What we're missing?
Look how decadent they are.
Look at this.
They
this
put
is like a vacation picture.
Put people's on ropes and they let them swing
Look
around.
at that. It's a boy stealing his socks and lighting the shoes on fire.
It's so decadent. Look at these people.
The one's naked.
It's ridiculous.
Excuse me?
It's ridiculous.
What is it?
I don't know.
Okay.
Alex Hart continued to run Hart's big department store. His youngest son, also named Alex, said his father probably would have gotten into the music writing business, but felt a family commitment to the store. So younger Alex did just that, going off following his dreams and working in the movie business, writing music for Paramount Pictures. But his dad died in 1943, 10 years after Brooke's death. The younger Alex returned home and ran the family business and expanded it, opening up other Hart department stores. He sold the business in 1976, but made sure his employees were taken care of. When the stores closed in the 80s, the employees would continue to hold reunions because of the camaraderie between all of the employees. Something that came from the top on down.
Jesus Christ.
How about that shit?
That's pretty fucking insane.
How cool is America?
What? No, I don't know if
Just
that's
how
the
fucking
moral.
cool is our country?
It's cool, right?
You're going to walk out of here thinking our country is the fucking shiznit.
I live here, first of all.
But you're going to walk out.
No, I'm not. I told you I
will
fear the
tell
outside.
you right
By the
now.
way, where's my vodka? I told you all I needed was vodka and peanuts.
I didn't get that. So,
well, great.
yeah, you feel good?
Another interesting chapter in American history.
It's a fucking beautiful story of
It is.
men.
It's really, if you think about it, it's a story about adolescent love.
It's about people coming together also, and
Yeah.
and like working stuff out as a group.
Yeah. No, it really shows you. I think the headline is "Calmer Minds Prevail."
Yeah.
What do we got here? Pictures?
Here's the picture. There they are, swinging in the tree.
Oh shit!
You can see his dick.
Oh my god, dude! I didn't think I was going to see his dick.
Full wiener. Yeah.
You want to see his dick,
Want
Chris?
to see his dick?
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Well, why? How come they gave the other guy the Porky Pig look? They just took his pants off and let him keep his top.
I don't know why he got to keep his clothes on.
To me, I'd rather go. And I know that this is a tragic story and we're mincing hairs. I'd rather go full nude than look like a cartoon pig.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh fucking shit! These guys are really.
Well, they called. Everyone knew it was going to happen, so the press were there taking photos. It's an amazing amount of photos.
It's really. They've really.
Yeah,
They're pissed.
Yeah, they're upset.
I like how the guys still keep their sport coats and hats on too.
Yeah, there's a picture of a guy. There's the guys with the battering ram. 3 of them are wearing hats and they're in suits.
Mm-hmm. Probably a sweaty job.
Yeah. Anyway, that's this week's Dollop. If you want to give to Patreon, please go to patreon.com and sign up as a subscriber. It's very, very helpful. At the Dollop on Twitter, and then we got our Dollop Facebook page.
Yeah. We're signing cars.
We're signing cars.
Calling on Gareth Force. This is Gareth, part of the bad boys of this podcast. Listen, go to GarethReynolds.com for tickets and information about these shows I'm about to mention. Also, go follow me on Instagram or any of that stuff at Reynolds Gareth. But I'm going on the road. I will be in Greenwood Village, Colorado, September 12th through the 14th at Comedy Works. San Diego, September 18th. Bakersfield, September 20th. Manchester, Connecticut, September 24th. Albany, New York, September 25th. Syracuse, New York, September 26th. Ontario, California, October 2nd, Tempe, Arizona, October 3rd. I'll be at Helium in Portland, November 1st through the 3rd. Then I will be in Eugene, Oregon, November 4th, and Bend, Oregon, November 5th. 2 shows, November 6th in Seattle. One of them is close to selling out or sold out, so we added a second. November 7th, I'll be in Vancouver, British Columbia. Then you can see me on New Year's Eve in Austin, Texas at the Great Cap City Comedy. Like I said, that's New Year's Eve. Go to GarethReynolds.com for tickets and information. Be part of the Gareth Force. At Reynolds Gareth, GarethReynolds.com. That's where you can get all your stuff. Gareth Force, join me. Love you. Marry me.
Colorado Housing and Finance Authority, or CHFA, offers homebuyer education, down payment assistance, and loan programs to help you in your home purchase. For more information, visit chfainfo.com/yourhome. CHFA, with you every step of the way.